Welcome back, Hijinks Nation. Here we're back for episode number 3. Today we'll be focusing on cold spark machines. And the next thing I'm going to do is kick it over to Jesse Swanson because all of us offer this as a service, and it's your fault, sir.
It's all your fault.
I'll take the blame for it, actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
So we're just going to start this off with a little video we produced. So let's go ahead and play that video.
Traditional pyrotechnics and fireworks require combustion and extreme levels of heat to operate. This makes them incredibly dangerous in lieu of how beautiful they are. They create fire which severely limits where they can be used. As a result, they can be limited to outdoor venues, large arenas, in order to preserve the safety of the audience.
In contrast, cold sparks use non-flammable elements to create a sparkling Firework X display. It heats up small grains made up of a mixture of zirconium and titanium. Those grains are then loaded into the machine. The composite creates a cold spark that comes out lower than body temperature, therefore far lower than those of fireworks. How much lower, you ask? A traditional handheld sparkler burns at a temperature of over 1200 degrees. These, on the other hand, run at about 62 degrees.
That makes them safe enough to hold directly to your bare skin or a piece of paper without the possibility of any burning. Additionally, they produce about 80% less smoke than traditional pyros and leave virtually no odor behind. The lower temperature of the sparks and the lack of smoke and odor make these cold fireworks ideal effect for indoor events. Pyrotechnic simulators are the #1 requested effect in special event industry and can be used for weddings, concerts, sporting events, and conferences. For weddings, we utilize them for grand entrances, first dance, send-off, and during high-energy dancing.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hope you got some information. And now we're going to dive deep and talk about what these things are and how you can use them for your business, or how you can hire one of us or somebody that offers these as an addition for your wedding or your special event.
I think they're cool, whether we're wedding entertainers or, whether we're DJs or not. I personally think they're cool just to have, like, wake up in the morning and shoot them things off since they're safe to use indoors. I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to, wake up to cold sparks. I mean, they're, what'd we say, 62 degrees, something like that. So, I mean, you can hold your hand over them. They're sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them programmed to my alarm clock, actually. So when my alarm goes off, my bedroom just shoots up in flames.
I think that'd be sweet.
But it wouldn't because they're nice and cold.
True. Cold sparks.
Yeah. No, but just kind of what, to go along with the video, kind of what we had talked about after that. That was a ton of fun to shoot, first of all. Because, I mean, I'd used them before, I'd seen them before, but not really dove into the intricate workings of how it works, how it uses what it does, what the actual temperature is. And, I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm kind of a nerd, so finding out all that technical information was a ton of fun. So, and it's great to give to venues and stuff. I think that's kind of the first thing I want to talk about is just the first step is talking to your venue that you're going to go into.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear when getting into these. In the wedding industry, I've run into situations with fog machines where venues don't allow them. They can set off smoke alarms. You have fire trucks showing up at your wedding. It's just not a good situation. Right. Plus, fog machines, they put out a little bit of an odor if you overuse it, type of thing. So venues are really on edge these days about special effects already. So when these cold sparks came out, of course they advertise they're safe for indoor use. They're awesome for weddings. The first red flag that popped in my head was, how the heck am I going to get a venue to let me use these inside their venue just based on my word saying they're safe? So what we did is produce this video, and when somebody books us to have these sparks, we're going to send that video to the venue to show them. This is kind of the science behind it, how it works, how they operate, and not only that they are safe, but why they're safe.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I also I'm trying to, whenever I'm booking these, I'm trying to also schedule a time to go to the venue especially if it's a new one. You know, they're even a little apprehensive even about, because I have had one venue even kind of kick back after I showed them the video. Just like, well, we're not sure. So what I'm trying to do is actually get in that venue and say, here, can I bring them? And so you can see how it works and you can be there. And
Right, like
so,
we'll even set them up outside if we need to. It doesn't matter. We just need people to see them, and you know, I think it's a huge selling point. But like you said, a lot of the, you know, a lot of venues are hesitant, and for the right reason. You know, they look like they're hot sparks, and they're not. You know, we use them. What would it be, a month or so ago that we used them when we went with Jesse, and we were in a packed room and used them, and they were fine. Because
with
you
low
don't
ceilings too.
you don't burn anybody.
That was the big test.
It's kind of cool. So, I mean, what
I knew that event was going to be a tight room.
right?
I knew if there was ever any safety risk whatsoever, we were going to find it out that
Right,
night.
it was going to be there.
But it was a kind of a club bar type gig. It was a birthday party for a friend of mine. So the risk, you know, if anything happened, we were right there to take care of it. It wasn't like we were going to ruin somebody's wedding day.
Right. Which you know, a birthday party's cool, but I'd rather ruin a birthday party than, you know, have fire trucks show up to a wedding, and you know, unless they're firefighters or something. But you know, still not fun either way. But so we've used them at a club. We've used them. You know, what are some different ways, I guess, to use them? I mean, we've talked kind of about grand entrance and, you know, having them go off there, but where else? I mean,
Well, I think the coolest part about it is that they're really versatile, and you can kind of use them in any situation. Like at a wedding, I think the grand entrance for the kind of towards the end of the first dance, if
Right.
you're doing any sort of formal send off or pictures or anything like that, those are really good things. But also the other things that you talked about, like the other thing that's really nice about this, kind of like with, you know, other services like photo booth and stuff like that, it doesn't have to just be at a wedding. Like, you know, Joe, you know, you've worked with schools and stuff before.
right.
How cool would this be for like a football team to come out to for homecoming?
Well, even like I
Or-
said,
or-
with
or,
with our
man.
dance team, like the dance girls on the floor, like to have them on each corner, like
Right.
how sweet would that be?
right, and there's so many cool different ways that, I mean, they add a ton of ambiance and stuff to that event,
Right.
but it's also another way for you to make a little bit of money selling the service on a Wednesday night when you're usually sitting at home. You know,
Right.
you can go out and, hey, let's go do this real quick. You know, that's another great thing about them is that you can use them virtually anywhere.
You could even set them up, partner with a photographer, or sell them to somebody for a photo shoot. Maybe it's their engagement pictures.
Senior
Maybe
pictures?
it's senior pictures. You know, 30th birthday. I see a lot of these women going out and doing photo shoots, like when they turn 30, just to kind of celebrate. You know,
What's it like being 30?
Shut up.
I wouldn't know. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't remember anymore.
I just wondered. I'm not there yet, so I just wondered.
Yeah, but I mean, even kind of go along with that, even like if you could get like a 30th wedding anniversary, or, you know, like there's so many different ways that you could do them, and it, you know, it's a big initial expense up front, but man, I tell you what, they're so easy to use, and they pay for themselves super quick.
Why?
And the first thing I thought about when I first got them too, aside from weddings, was corporate events.
Yeah.
You know, DJs are always thinking about ways to get into corporate events. How cool would it be? You know, these corporate events, they always throw like an annual hoorah, you know, to light the fire under their workers' butts. You know, what better way to do that than start off the show with, you know, 15-foot high sparks saying like, we're throwing this party for you guys.
Like welcome. Yeah.
Or,
I think it's super cool.
Even another way to think about that is if, like, what if they're just having, like, kind of an annual meeting kind of a thing, and they have some sort of motivational speaker or something like that to come out as a keynote speaker. Hey, here's the, you know, get everybody going. Like, it's crazy. And, you know, I didn't really notice or think about the event, like the people of the event, as much when I bought them. But then when we did go and do that club, just the reaction of the people out in the crowd, they were just in awe every single time we did it. And we did it a lot of different times throughout that
Right.
night. And every time they were still just like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like they were wanting us to do it more. So
well, it's
pretty
just
cool.
so
Yeah, there's-
different. It's because you see that and you see it like, we've talked like I work security for Taylor Swift. You see it on like big concert tours. I mean, we saw it at Post Malone. You see it at, rock concerts. You see it everywhere, and it's like a big production value type thing, but it's brought to your wedding day or your birthday party or whatever it is. So I think it's the whole like I'm a celebrity type stat. I don't know. I think it gives a celebrity type feel, if you will, when you get sparks at your
And
event.
there's an element of surprise too. Like no matter how many times they've gone off that
Right.
night, you're never expecting it because it's just a burst. And the ones that I got are white because my branding with my company, all of my setup and everything is white. So I got them so that they could blend in to even create a little more of a surprise.
Right.
And I think it'll help us DJs with our energy too, because it energizes us as much as it energizes the crowd.
Oh yeah, it's
And
super
The
sweet.
crowd feeds off of us and vice versa. So I think, when we set those off, we're going to be ready to go.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
it's kind of just a party starter in general. I mean, I think you can use them like we've said on a packed dance floor, or, kind of whatever. But I know for us, we're always careful with our gear and stuff. I guess photographers and videographers we worked with a photographer and videographer that night, but is it something that they need to be, I guess, worried about?
So we kind of talked a lot about that night, through some of the things that we worked through. That's something that you definitely need to consult and talk with the videographer and the photographer first. Let them know that that's going to happen, because it's going to blow their ISO out because it's going to be really bright, really fast. So they need to be ready for that, and kind of standing back and turning their ISO way down and
So real
everything,
quick,
just so that they can-
for some of our viewers and listeners who might not know what ISO is, Jesse, you want to explain that?
So ISO, it's a camera setting, whether they're shooting video or they're shooting regular photos. So ISO happens to be the brightness of the image. And if they have their camera set to a specific brightness, whatever's happening in the room, and then we set off these sparks and they're 10 times as bright as what the room was, then the brightness on their camera, it kind of just looks like a white light unless they can quickly adjust.
Which is tough.
So you definitely need some preparation there with the photographer and videographer, maybe even a test shot before guests arrive to say like, this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
I think it's a good idea, especially like we were talking to reach out to the venues, but I think likewise, even if you can just reach out to the videographer or the photographer even a week before. I know Jesse, with you work with more local photographers, and Kyle and I probably do. But like to set up a meeting, I think that'd be super cool. Even just show them before the day of might be helpful also.
And that's what I wanted to do. That night I learned quite a bit from that videographer, and I'm going to be talking to photographers and setting up some test shoots so we can kind of get some general numbers of, how low did you have to turn your camera
Right.
to be ready for it, so that photographers that don't have time to prepare for it, you can say, hey, these are some tests we ran. These are some adjustments you can make to get you right in the ballpark of where you need to be.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea. Just kind of what it says all the time. Just be prepared. Always getting in contact with those other things.
Right. I think it's a good idea.
Oh,
Oh, you hear that beat? I like that.
I think it's trivia time.
Choice, Kyle.
Yeah.
What time is it, Kyle?
it's trivia time, boys and
Uh-oh.
girls. All right. So we're gonna do kind of what we did last week with Jesse and his quick hits and everything. We're just gonna do this one here, just kind of some general knowledge questions. Hopefully you guys are studied up. There is a test, obviously. So,
I did read the dictionary this morning, so
hey, we're good to go then.
I'm a
Should
little
we get-
nervous, not going to lie.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with Joe.
Okay.
Joe,
Okay.
what horoscope sign has a crab?
I am the Quab. I'm gonna say cancer.
That is correct, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Let's go.
I guarantee that was a guess, unless you are a Cancer, but I don't think you are.
I don't know what I am. I have no idea. I think I'm a Capricorn. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is, but I don't know if you're that or not.
Okay.
'Cause I just know what I am, and that's the one I know.
Who's your Quab? No pressure, Jesse. I
right.
just got 1,000 points. So
That was only 500, but
okay, I messed up.
all right, Jesse. So, when did the Second World War end?
Like a year.
Yep. No, an exact time. No.
Second World War.
The years after it
Oh,
started.
You put me on the spot here. I'm gonna say.
Remember the Second World War.
It was before my dad. 54.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That
How,
would've
how
been
off was I?
1945. So if you were dyslexic, then hey,
Man, it was that early.
yeah,
Wow.
1945.
Wait, we should give him dyslexic
Actually-
points then. So instead of 1,000 points, he gets
Well, first of all, you only got
0.0001. Okay.
And so
In my
Jesse, you
defense,
get
I said
one
it was before my
participation point.
dad. It was before my dad. My dad was born in 54, so.
Yes, so it was before your dad still.
But I was 9 years. That was a long ways.
All right, Joe.
Ready.
What are the first 3 words of the Bible?
Oh, yes. I'm glad I didn't get that one.
The first how many? 3?
It doesn't matter. You ain't going to get this.
God help me.
Go ahead and play your wah-wah.
I was going to say, if that's it, he's cheating.
No, that would be in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, that was my second guess. So,
There
okay.
you go.
That's what I would have said.
All right.
But you could ask me what a number 6 at Burger King is, and I could tell you. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Continue.
We all have our strong and weak
Continue.
points.
It's not a big deal.
All right, Jesse. How many children does Queen Elizabeth II have?
Good Lord.
Where did you find these questions?
I just randomly Googled random facts.
2.
Ooh. 4. She has 4 children.
Is that like Prince Harry and Prince Henry?
Well, those would be her grandkids,
You're
but
thinking of
Ah, okay.
Prince Diana.
So it's like
Princess Diana.
Princess
yeah,
Diana.
her
Okay.
husband,
Okay,
Prince Charles, and all them.
I'm ready for number 3.
But anyway, all right. Oh man, this is kind of a gimme.
Of course.
What is the name of the famous clock in London?
Big Ben.
There you go. Hey,
Get out of here.
Let's go.
that's okay. Jesse, yours is kind of a gimme too.
This game's rigged.
What did the 7 dwarves do for a job? Like Snow White and the 7 dwarves?
I know what the 7 dwarfs are. They had jobs.
Oh, seriously? Come on, bro. You have kids?
Yeah, they didn't work there long. They have a short attention span.
I just know that they like help Snow White get dressed.
Lucky.
What?
They put her dress on like over her.
I'm just gonna.
You're
Like,
thinking,
I'm gonna
you're
go
thinking
on.
of Cinderella and the birds. But nice try. No, they were
I got
minors,
no
dude.
idea.
Hi ho.
I'm not saying it
Oh.
was like
They have-
sexual.
They have all the pickaxes and everything.
Oh, they were minors, like in a
Yeah,
mine, not like
minors.
minors,
Okay.
like under 18.
Yeah, no.
I thought
Yeah,
they
no,
were
the
short
dwarves
in
weren't
height.
minors.
I thought they were short in height and on years, but that makes sense.
They
now.
couldn't help her get dressed. They were minors.
Yeah.
God, gross.
All right.
They were minors.
All right.
Wow, interesting.
All right. Joe,
Yep.
who painted the Sistine Chapel?
Well, that would, of course, be Pablo Picasso.
Nope.
I'll just play it myself.
That was Michelangelo.
It was my s-
Michelangelo. See, that was my question.
You knew that one?
The Orange Ninja Turtle.
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
All right, let's see. So, are you pretty good at physics, Jesse?
Like,
Who said E equals MC squared? Come on.
Einstein.
Hey, we have a winner. All right.
Is this the final round?
This is the final one right here for each of you.
Okay.
Oh,
Joe,
Double
which
Jeopardy.
planet is nearest the sun?
That would be Mercury.
Did you say Mercury? Because it sounded like
Yeah,
you
he
said
did.
Mercury.
I actually have Mercury. I did say
job.
Mercury.
Okay. And, oh, geez. Just yours is a lob, too. Which is the largest ocean?
Yeah, what a lob, dude. Seriously? That's an easy question.
the Atlantic Ocean.
You should have been more Pacific.
You should have. Play us 10.
I don't. You asked if I was good
man,
at
you
physics,
should've been more
not
Pacific
geography.
Yep. So Pacific Ocean.
Oh,
well.
This
man.
podcast is going to make me look like
hopefully
a
our
dummy.
education of spark
Yes,
machines.
so
is-
hopefully our
is-
educational video is better than somebody's education.
Yeah, that was rough, but I appreciated it. So
Well,
I live
now
in
you have,
Nebraska.
You have a go forward from now on, so yeah, you know that I'm going to ask some pretty random stuff, so read up.
Yeah, we're going to start doing some research.
Yeah.
dang it, I missed this. I should have played this one when I made the Pacific joke. Dang it.
Oh,
Next
maybe
time.
next time.
Maybe next time. Too many
Okay.
buttons on this thing.
So,
Let's talk
back
about the
to cold
technology
spark
more.
machines.
Let's talk about the technology more.
Okay.
Like what the stuff we put in it. So the stuff we put in is like it's a little baggie, and basically it leaves
kinda-
little to no residue once it's shot out and sparked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very vague description of it.
Yeah.
It's actually titanium granules. So they actually, instead of like exploding like a firework would, it needs to ignite like fire. This actually pops more like popcorn.
Yep.
You know how popcorn heats up and it just bursts, and that's actually what creates the spark
Makes sense.
and the illusion of fire. So it's not really a combustion like a firework is. It has to be this special powder of titanium, and that's how it works.
Yeah, it's really cool, and that's the other thing that to be upfront about you with your clients too, and the venues, is it does have some residue. So it's not anything crazy. Like when we shot that video, we shot them off 30 times.
A lot.
More than that. I mean, we shot
Because
them off a
we each
bunch.
shot a video with them, then we shot the instructional video, and all
We
that
shot
kind
a
of stuff.
wrestling entrance video.
Yeah, we got a wrestling entrance video for one of Jesse's guys. So we shut them off a lot. I mean, and there was a pile, maybe that, of all the residue that we had shot off through that whole day. So if you are going to do
But, I
something,
mean-
I have purchased
course.
a little broom and dustpan that kind of goes with my kit, just so that I don't have to go and try to find somebody else's. I know that I can take care of it without finding something from the venue. And, if they, for some reason, only have one broom that somebody's using at that time, I can still clean up my area.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I was gonna say. Like, please do clean up after
Yeah.
yourselves. Don't make DJs look bad, and we're just leaving a mess.
Yeah.
And I think that goes for no matter if we're using cold sparks or if you need to throw away a water bottle at the end of the night. Like, pick up after yourself. And that's any business, no matter what it is. I mean, I think if you leave a mess, then your company kind of looks like a mess, I guess, is a safe
Right.
way that, I kind of look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some preparation. There's some things you have to think about when you purchase these cold spark machines. The education, going out to the venues and checking and making sure they're going to work out. Talking to your photographers, talking to your videographers,
Yeah.
going through and actually using them in test situations to make sure that you know how they operate, so that it's safe when you have it at an event. You don't want some little kid right beside it looking down inside when you hit that button.
Yep.
Like
Right.
that's really the safety danger, is kind of some
Yeah.
Sand in your eye type
Just
of
because
deal.
they're cold spark doesn't mean there's no danger at all.
Right. I mean, it's projecting little particles out at a decent speed.
Like,
No different than like a Nerf dart gun, you know?
Yeah.
That shoots you in the eye, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah,
well,
it'll
as
shoot
you
your eye
saw
out.
in that instructional video, I had my hand over top of it, and it doesn't hurt at all.
It's
we were
more of
talking
a
about
mental
that.
thing.
Yeah, when we were talking about that venue that we took him to, that birthday party with Jesse, the first couple times we shot him off, everybody was kind of freaking out around. They thought they were going to catch on fire and all this. Oh no, I felt
Right.
it. It burned me. It burnt. It's like
No,
no,
it didn't.
it just did. In your mind, you thought it did, because it does kind of feel a little bit like sand hitting you.
Right.
So that's what I mean. Like, make sure nobody's looking over top or anything like that, because that can get pretty dangerous pretty quick. But
Right on. Well, I think this was definitely a good conversation. If you guys have any questions whatsoever about these cold spark machines, there's information online, a lot of different websites, a lot of different brands. We don't want to persuade you one way or the other, so we're not naming brands or where we got ours or anything. We're here to answer any questions you have. Shoot us a message, and I think we'll see you next episode.
Sounds good. We'll see you next
Sure,
week,
guys.
guys.